Welcome to the first raid of Drink Blood Together. This is the clan MV. They weren't really raiding it right here. They were just kind of testing out golem damage and siege damage and raiding, and V-Rising is kind of the vibe I got from it. I don't know, maybe some of the members are new if they haven't raided in 1.0. But I wanted to add this clip because this was technically the first raid, and they're in the next clip online raiding. So figured I'd include this. This is technically the first raid of the season. And here we are at the first online raid of the season. This is MV versus VD. MV has the 3-man advantage to VD's 2-man, but they are equal gear score across the board, so this is a realistic fight, especially for a defending team. We're going to find here MV does do a good job of just keeping pressure on the door with the golem while they fend off the other person. And VD never really gets a chance to push them fully off of the base, so MV does end up basically getting in and looting. I don't know how much loot they got, but it did look like MV at the end of this basically got out with most of the main floor's loot. So this is a pretty fun raid. This is the first online raid of the season, and I think it was good fights all the way around. Good fights from VD, good fights for MV. Hopefully we see some more fights like this, some more raids like this here in the near future. This is one of the last defense pushes from VD. They end up getting one more duo push that we got here coming up in the next clip, but it's not near as long as this. This is their closest attempt getting MV out. They got MV low, a couple of their players. I think they killed a golem here. This was their best attempt, but if you're in this scenario, you really have to kill that golem, and you've got to back off at least one of the players. You got to kill at least one of them, get them the fuck out of your base. But they couldn't quite get that pressure. Understandably, 2 versus 3 rough scenario. They probably weren't even expecting a raid. You also want to make sure, just while we're looking at this base, something for you guys. You want more honeycombing inside your base here. All this open space on the first floor is not what you're looking for. So, well played by VD here, though. Good defense. Glad to see him coming out. That's the end of this. I'm going into the last clip here. This is just the last of VD's pushes. A good fight by them, honestly. You know, they fought till the very, very end. They came back every time they could off respawn with gear and potions and tried their best. So, good on them. GG's, VD. Hopefully you guys build up again. Maybe restructure your defense on the first floor. And, yeah, you'll do much better next time. This last clip, I don't have a good intro for, unfortunately. I kind of just got here, and what you're looking at is what I saw. But Karma's had a really rough start. We actually robbed him earlier in the season, and he has just grinded his way back up on the come up, and then defended against a raid. I think this was a 2 versus 1. I think. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, Karma putting up a hell of a fight. Love seeing SE out here as well. Those guys are, you know, always going around doing bosses and shit. So. Love to see it, and had to involve this last clip of the last online raid of the day. So, GG Karma, good job defending your base. Hopefully we see you around more, huh? So there we are, into the raid window. And who else other than Alucard calls me out for a 1v1 for a tier, and I can't help but say yes to a fight like that. He came out here with the longbow summon build, which summons I'm used to dealing with, but I've never fought longbow before, so that range really got me, and that spread 5 shot as well. So really well played by him. He ends up taking this first one, but we will end up running it back here in a second. There's going to be a couple fights here. This is a fun time. Most of the community came out, most of the server was here chilling, watching fights, and most people ended up wanting to fight, so it was a good time. here we are running it back. Now that I understand the longbow range a little bit better, I think I have a much better chance of taking the fight, which I think is ended up what's happening, is just me knowing the range better, but still a great fight by Al. GG's, love fighting you, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some more fights from us here in the future. And as you see up there, most of the people were from the community were up at the rafters, so we got a couple more fights coming up here. Couple people you wouldn't expect to win some fights coming up here. So yeah, I was gonna say GG's, fun time from the community, and let's see, after this fight here, after running it back with Al, let's check into some of these other fights. Next up, we had Poro come out to fight Al, and this was something like a 20 level difference, but Poro really understood how to use that whip, and I don't think most people here fought it or were comfortable with it, myself included. So I got to fight him here in one of the upcoming clips, and it was really fun to fight against. I actually think the whip's a great weapon. Really glad to see some more unique fighting styles in the game. So I thought it was really cool, and it shows even crazy level difference if you're playing right. Got the right weapons, the right comfortability, you can make some plays. So GG's from Poro, and I think I fight him here next. We'll take a look here who's fighting next. Here we go, we got me versus Poro. After watching him fight Al, I had to step in on that fight. I had to see what it was about. Even though there's a 20 level difference, it seemed like it was mostly about the whip and the combos he was setting up, not so much about the gear, and it definitely was the case. He had really good combos, really good setups, and that whip was really fun to fight against. So, really excited to see that in the game. I might have to give that some practice sometime here soon, but enjoy the rest of this fight. I think this is one of the last fights of the night. It was a fun time overall. Yeah, that's the end of the clips I got from this that were really worth watching, but we had about 5 or 6 more fights outside of these few scenes that I didn't get to get, but it was a great time. Community had a great time. Tomorrow's another raid day, maybe we'll do some more PvPing like this, but anyways, GG's, anyone who's watching. I had a great time, hopefully you did too, and hopefully we'll see some more spice tomorrow. Get some more heat on that Sunday raid window, so GG's to everyone, and look forward to seeing more PvP.